Today we are unveiling Dinosaur. It's a very special day. I've been working on this for about 5 years. And so Dinosaur is a gigantic sculpture, hyper-realistic sculpture of a pigeon, a street pigeon, that actually has the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I proposed this sculpture because I've always admired pigeons. I've done a lot of projects in the public space, performance, a lot of work around monuments, and somehow pigeons have always been by my side on these different adventures. And as we know, pigeons are badly loved, are a marginal figure in the city. Still, they're a very iconic figure of New York City. And then, so I thought it was interesting to make a tribute and to pay a honor to this marginal figure and make it as big as I could. I guess all the works I do around public space tend to ask, like, what's the relationship we have with each other. Sometimes they're more like infrastructures or like architectural pieces or writing poems. Sometimes are more like dismantled monuments, such as like in Venice Biennale, where you have this lying monument with plants that grow out of it and cover the monument by itself. So all of these projects are proposals of new kinds of monumentality, more critical, more horizontal. A lot of projects has to do with poetry or reflections or texts that are introduced into the cities. Sometimes they're like big scale. Sometimes I actually made poster campaigns anonymously in some cities. When I started thinking about Dinosaur, I wanted to scale up the pigeon to the scale of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, to make a glimpse or a reference to dinosaurs who supposedly dominated the world before, and now what we have from them is just the birds that live around us. And I like to think that if pigeons had what remained of dinosaurs, maybe in a distant future we're gonna be the pigeons of another species in some millions of years. Then, about a year and a half ago, I got the fantastic news that Dinosaur was gonna happen. And then we started again the whole production process, which is very, very complex. This is an aluminum cast piece painted by hand with automobile painting and special coating. It's not only a very big sculpture, it's also a very big painting, because you have almost 1,000 square feet of painting to do. So, and then during the whole process, a big part of it was trying to figure out if it was possible to make this thing as big as we want it, without compromising the scale, keeping the concept like as it was in the first place. I picture, I don't know, when you're driving up on 10th Avenue and then all of a sudden you look up and you see this gigantic dinosaur, which is actually a pigeon looking at you. And I wonder what's the sensation you have. And then also when you're a pedestrian and you're walking on the High Line and you cross these trees and all of a sudden you unveil this very large pigeon which is actually staring at you. So it's important when you work in public space to open up the questions and invite people to those questions. And the question with this sculpture is, there is many actually. There is our relationship with nature, with wildlife. Also, somehow there is a question about marginality, why we marginalize some other species, some other people. Somehow it's like a dissident monument or a anti-hero monument. Of course, I'm very curious about how people are going to react to the sculpture when they discover it. I'm also very curious about how pigeons are going to react to the sculpture. And then I imagine them flying around and somehow celebrating themselves in the middle of the city.